Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the Yellow Drift channel. What am I doing today? Today I was working on a few things, welding some speed flow fittings on for the front oil return on the head. So on the Series 1 RB25, the head has an oil drain, an external one from the front, which goes down into the side of the block here, which I didn't have the actual factory line, so I'm going to put in, oops, I dropped it, welded on this speed flow fitting to go in here, because I'm going to put a 90-degree bend off here and then a Y piece, and one of those lines will go back up to the head and the other one will go up to the catch can to let the crankcase pressure out, because the RB has an issue with the oil getting blown out the cam covers due to the oil returns being at the back of the block here, and then under G-forces and hard acceleration, obviously your crankcase is under boost pressure because you're accelerating, and all the oil goes to the back because you're accelerating and it's trying to go down the holes. But also the air pressure, which has been boosted into here because you're under boost, is trying to come out of the holes because it's gone past the rings and it's trying to come up. So it's trying to push the oil up, oil's trying to go down, can't do it. But that leaves, with all the oil at the back of the head, that leaves the front drain free to do some breathing and a little bit of drainage, but they wouldn't be doing much drainage. So that's my plan, is to make this into a breather to equalize the pressure inside the engine to the outside atmosphere and via the catch can. So one line will do the oil draining, but then while there's no oil draining down there, it becomes a breather to the atmosphere. So I had to actually make this little flange and weld this fitting on, which goes on the front of the head here. Literally just did this. I also put fuel in the number 4 cylinder there overnight and it didn't leak down, so yay, seemed to have fixed my valve seats. So this thing goes here, so there'll be a speed flow fitting on here and a line, braided line down to a Y piece, so there'll be 2 on here. One will be to the head and the other one go up to the catch can. So, and the other issue was with my RX-7 bonnet not clearing the factory. These are the factory breather lines for the cam covers. So the RX-7 bonnet's like super low. It's like pretty much touching the front of the cam covers there. So I had to weld these up and weld on fittings at the back here. So one thing I was concerned about is there's no, as you can see, the baffles are up the front here. And there's no baffle at the back section where I've welded the fitting on. So I might have to actually mount a baffle in there. You can see the where that baffle's mounted there. There's a rivet or whatever that holds that plate on. So I can drill that point there, that point there, and that point there, and mount a plate underneath my fitting to prevent any oil getting sloshed around or surged out there. But as you can see, the standard baffle literally only has that one entrance in there for the air to go through. It's got these drains here, and then the oil will just come out the front. So once any oil is sloshed up into the back and you got on the brakes, literally all the oil would run towards the front, and then air pressure would, the boost pressure, when you got, after you went around the corner, after getting off the brakes, you got back on the accelerator and your engine's under boost again, then the air pressure would be surging out those lines there and taking any oil that happened to slosh up in there with it. Anyway, that's my theory. So that's what I've been doing today so far. That's pretty much it. Pottering around. Oh, and I've got to do this. I was going to show you this. I've got the oil drain spool. Got to knock out the Welsh plug, and this basically goes in there. You've got to drill and tap 2 holes here. So Just gotta smash that out, don't we? And something. Fine. Somewhere for you to sit. YouTube life. There. It's a bit gunky. Push part. Screw the edge is tight. What? Bit of love on there. Happy days. You want this to go on the intake side, angled this way a bit. I feel. Because any oil we get returning to the sump, we don't want it to get hot by running it past the exhaust, so we run it past the inside, the cold side of the motor. Not excessively hitting oils and stuff for no reason. But yeah, that's that. Just got to mark those holes, scribe it. With said pointy item. Might actually sit the head on the block, make sure I get the angle-y thing right. Yeah. And basically just drill all the way through. Just put sealant on the bolts. And that's that. So yeah, that's what I was doing today. Not very exciting, is it? There's lots of these little things I'm doing now that are pretty boring. It's not as exciting as just throwing the whole body kit on and having the car sit on the ground look cool, but not up to that bit yet, so shan't be doing that. Anyway, that's enough. Stay tuned for more adventures tomorrow. Lockdown life. See ya. G'day everyone. Welcome back. Today, this afternoon, I'm gonna be making some baffles, extra baffle plates for RB25 cam covers, because I've got my fittings here and there's no baffle plate to cover the hole where the fitting is there. So there is on the head, I wasn't gonna do this because I thought these things would stop any oil getting flung up, but there's a pretty big gap just here on the side where the oil can like sort of get through there, and then I don't know, go up the inside of the cam cover and end up sloshing over the top and ended up going out the breather line. So it's going to cut a bit of alloy plate, cut it to the shape in here basically, and just leave a gap for the air to get through here. Pretty big decent gap. Maybe drill a couple of holes at the back and the corners so let the oil drain down any that gets on top of it, and I'll just stitch weld it in on the inside. So I think that's the last thing I've got to do to these. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have to weld anything else to them before I send them off to get painted, because it would ruin it obviously. So I was like, yeah, that's enough, send them off to get painted. But then now I'm like, very irritating if it still breathes and I want to weld some baffles in here. I was thinking I'd pop rivet into these, but these 2 points are actually too low, because if I put the plate down this low, the baffle, it will foul on those existing baffle-y things that go on top of the saddles, because they have extra long studs in them. So it can't go there, it's got to go further down. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Stay tuned. Alrighty, skip to the bit. Cut them out. There's one. Got to weld them in yet, and something like that. Upside down. Like that. There we go. So now the oil, I'll stitch it along the edges, and the air and oil will have to go up there and then sideways and then out the hole if it so desires. But it shouldn't do that, because we've got drains and things and restrictors and all the things. But, well, this is about as good as I can do without revisiting it later. So weld these in, then I can take these and get them painted. So I'll weld these in. There we have it. You'll weld it in. Lovely. Not that lovely, a bit dirty, so it was a bit annoying, the alloy, but it's in there, it's not going to fall out. And the oil's got to go up through there, or up the end, so air can still get around there, sweet. And yeah, that's that. Still got to weld the other one in yet, but I don't think you need to do that. It's enough of that. You get the idea, and that's what we're doing today. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Probably tomorrow. Actually not tomorrow. I'm gonna work tomorrow, but maybe tomorrow afternoon. Bye.